Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, we are going to be doing another episode of our Extreme Makeover My Team edition, in which you guys send in your squads. Let me know your MT amount, as well as letting me know if you are on current gen or next gen. And then I take your squads and I do a little revamp to them. Okay, try to make your squads just a little bit better and kind of a squad that I would have more success with. So we're going to be doing some squads that are like average, some no money spent squads, as well as some of the best squads in the game to get kind of the full picture for you guys. And we have seen a lot of new great cards, including the Gauntlet Spotlight Sims, but I'm not obviously going to be adding any of those because not everybody can get every Spotlight Sim challenge done. Now, before we dive any deeper, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button as we're on the road to 70,000 subscribers. So we're going to start off here with a squad set in from NBA 2K Showtime on Twitter. It says he is on current gen and has 200,000 MT to work with. So we're going to start off Magic. I like him. Terry Anton is okay on current gen. Ben Wallace, not a big fan of. Eddie Curry. Heroes, fine on current. Kobe, Ferry, Dino, and Bobo. So there's really one guy that I'm not a massive fan of, and that guy's Big Ben Wallace. Now, if I do that, I like playing Bobo at the 4 more as well. And so really what we do here, since I like playing Bobo at the 4 more anyway, we're looking for a center for less than 200,000 MT. And honestly, the guy that I'm thinking about plugging in here is at center is the Dark Matter Kristaps Porzingis, a card that's going for under 100,000 MT. Now, I don't know how because he is still one of the top bigs in the game. I get it, he's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's not necessarily the best big in the game, but he's a top 5 center in the NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. The fact that you can get him for that price, I think is hard to pass up on. So just sell Ben Wallace, pick up Kristaps, move Bobo to that 4, and you're going to have some success with this squad. This next squad here was sent in by my guy JDog on Twitter. Says he has around 700,000 MT to work with, and he doesn't want to use any more than 200,000. And that really he's willing to sell anybody outside of Ben Simmons, and he is on next gen. So we're just going to go in over the individual players. Obviously, we're going to keep Ben because he loves him. Luke on next gen is immaculate. Manute Bol, we'll talk about him in a little bit. Bobo is good at the 4. Wiseman at the 5 is fine, especially if you're next gen. Levine is better on next gen than current gen, in my opinion. Dishinger is good. Weber's good. Russell's good. And I like Dino as well. There's really one question mark. I would say 2 question marks with this team that I currently have. The first one, Manute Bol at small forward. Look, if you're a cheese ball, you can get by with it and you're going to love it. For me, I'm not the biggest Manute Bol fan. And Zach LaVine, a backup point guard, that is going to be a position you're eventually going to maybe want to take another look at. Whether that is putting a guy like Giannis in that position. Maybe it's moving Luka to the backup 1 and picking up another shooting guard. Maybe that's what you want to do. And quite honestly, that is what I'm personally going to do. If I'm you, I'm selling Zach LaVine. I knew it would mess that up. I'm going to keep Ben Simmons here. I'm going to move Luka to the backup 1. And although it might not be exactly what you're looking at, hear me out here. I'm going to move Luka here, okay? At this point, I'm going to get rid of Manute Bol as well. And if you are on next gen, specifically, I love Anton Jameson. Now, this is only if you're on next gen because X and base on next gen is elite. If you like Luka, you're going to like this guy as well. So if I'm you, I'm adding the Team USA LeBron James as well. If I'm on next gen, that's the route I would personally take just because I love Anton Jameson. He's chicken, so is LeBron. Move Luka to that backup 1, and I think you're going to have a lot more success with this lineup than what we started out with. This next squad here was sent in by Ilyan on Twitter. Says he is on current gen and has 200,000 MT to work with. Now, if you're on current gen, there's some major adjustments I would make, and he already said he thought about selling his LeBron out of position and picking up Ben Simmons. Now, I don't necessarily know if I would personally do that, but I'm going to give you a couple of options of what you could adjust to make this squad even better. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is this Kevin Durant can't play. I'm sorry. That release that he has is nearly impossible to green on current gen. And the first thing I'm going to do before anything is I'm going to move Thon Maker right in here to the small forward position. And at power forward, I'm going to plug in Pink Diamond Bobo. I like Bobo more than the Kevin Durant, and he's cheaper. So I think you're getting the best of both worlds there. Second thing I'm going to do is sell this LeBron James. And let's just, for right now, plug in Ben Simmons, okay? Let's just say right now that's what we're going to do. Now you got kind of a decision to make here, okay? If you want to plug in Ben Simmons, that's fine. But what I would personally where I would lean if I was you, now this is me personally, is I would put AK at the 1 and I would pick up the new Team USA LeBron James. Now, this is what I would personally do, and then I'd run my offense through LeBron James and just have AK kind of there as a cone. But either option is fine. If you want to run AK here at the 2 and run Ben at the 1, that is fine with me as well, considering you were thinking about already doing that. I love Ben Simmons. Really comes down to personal preference. But I think if you do this, you're going to have more success with your squad than the alternative route of running that Team USA KD, as well as the out of position point guard LeBron James. This next squad here was sent in by my guy Walsh on Twitter. Says he does have 530,000 MT to work with, and he is on next gen. Says his Ben Simmons and Luka do have blinders. So here's my thing if you are on next gen. Manute, I got him out of there earlier in this video, but we can just keep Manute Ball. If he fits your playstyle, I guess you can keep him. All I'm going to say is if you run Manute Ball, you're a cheese ball. Just know this. I'm not going to bash you. I'm just saying you're an absolute cheese ball if you do decide to run that card. So let's just break down the starters. Ben, Luka with blinders, incredible on next gen. Manute, I guess. Bill Russell, Wiseman, incredible. Bird at the backup 1. We'll talk about that. That's the wrong Bird that I plugged in there. It was the point guard Bird. We'll talk about that. Allen Houston at the 2 is incredible. Ferry, Bobo, and Dino. The only problem here is I have as your backup point guard. There are a couple different options you could go with. Now, for me, I'm going with this guy, and I have no hesitation. The out of position 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis still on next gen is going to be able to green shots with that release. That's where I would lean. This next squad was sent in by Nick, who does play on current gen and has 750,000 MT to work with. Now, he has the Blake Griffin here. That's fine. If you're on pace to get Blake Griffin and you want to plug him into your squad and see what your squad can look like if you do have Blake Griffin, that is absolutely okay. So there's 2 guys that I do not like in this squad, and I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. Those 2 guys are James Harden and Peja Stojakovic. You take away those 2 guys, this squad is starting to look better. Now, he did say Dirk is untouchable, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. To start with, I'm going to plug in Michael Jordan. I love this MJ card. For his specific value, he is honestly going to be a pretty tough card to beat for that value. He's, I think, what is he, 50, 60, 70,000 MT, and can basically do it all for you. Now, if you're on current gen, I'm going to tell you to plug in this guy right here, an invincible Larry Bird. He's a hit or miss guy. I personally like the card a lot, and if you like him and if you can get his release down, he's not bad for the price he's currently going for if you are on current gen. Those 2 simple adjustments, I think, makes your team look a lot better, and quite honestly, you have a lot of leftover kind of MT to work with. This last squad here is sent in by Collin, who is on current gen and has 200,000 MT to work with. Now, this squad is absolutely incredible. We're going to break it down position by position, so I can let you know what you're doing right. Starting it off with Giannis at point guard. He says he likes to 5-out rim run. No better point guard than Giannis for that. Pippen, again, 5-out rim running. Defensively is absolutely perfect. Bulb with the 3, D-Rob at the 4, and Tack with the 5. The average starting height of your starters is above 7 feet tall, which is just absolutely ridiculous, and I like it. Said he's not the biggest fan of Luka at the backup 1. Cam Reddish is good. MPJ, I'm personally not the biggest fan of. Then you got Bill Russell and Wiseman. So if there's 2 guys to replace, I'm not the biggest fan of MPJ. You're not the biggest fan of Luka Doncic. So if you want to replace Luka, I know you have right at 200K. You might need a little bit more than that, maybe just a little bit more to get Ben Simmons. It's one guy I would probably recommend if you don't like Luka Doncic to go with, especially if you do like the 5-out rim running. Now, if you want to replace somebody else, you could do a couple of different things. You can plug in LeBron here. You can plug in a guy like Thon Maker. That's probably what I would do to make your squad just a little bit better. There's a lot of options, but if you don't like Luka, just replace him with Ben Simmons. Alright, that is going to wrap it up for our last squad of this episode of our Extreme Makeover My Team edition. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you didn't see your squad, hopefully you saw some players, some squads that were comparable to yours, and saw the adjustments that I did indeed make. Now, I go over basically every player in every individual squad, so if there's a player here that I didn't replace, I'm probably decently high on the card, or if there's guys I plugged in, they're definitely cards that I'd recommend adding to your squad. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.